Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today we're going back to a poking the mom Pokemon conversation. I've been blowing up with messages regarding. It's fascinating how so many people watch the actual Pokemon corporate website, Pokemon Center, and right when something sells out, like there's this post all over social media and MySpace and Tinder, and everyone's like, "Rudy, Fusion Strike's out!" Like you see this really fast reaction time. And that goes back to what I talked to you all about, how everyone says, well, Rudy, I don't understand. How does something that's like new move up in value so much? Where back in the 90s, it took years. Again, culture, society, attention spans, have the rate at which news travels is so fast now. And what's wild is right when there's like, Rudy, did you hear about Fusion from Sword and Shield? I was like, no, I didn't, but I'm assuming you're going to tell me something dramatic. Rudy, it's not on the Pokemon Center. Pokemon corporate's out, my man. That's it. To the moon. Buckle up, Buttercup. And I'm like, okay. I mean, but are you surprised that they ran out and that you noticed? Or are you surprised that there's a price spike? I don't understand where people are shocked about something that's been out for a few years, and then it sells out on the company website because it's old now, and suddenly everyone's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, this happens with every set. This is part of the ecosystem and life cycle of the collectible world. You know, when they're not game pieces, when they're actually collectible. And it's been this way for years, and it's always going to be this way. I'm surprised that the public and the professional Poke-tuber, Poke investors, you know, the ones with the fancy outfits and the fancy haircuts, I'm surprised that a lot of you all out there are surprised when things run out and then the price goes up. Because this isn't really, I don't consider this news. Like, this is just, okay, well, okay, what are we talking about today? Are we at Fusion Strike? Astral? What are we talking about? Evolving again? Yes, was Evolving Skies 500 or 1,000 yet? Nope, still bouncing around? Okay, well, we'll wait a few more months. It's like the Fusion Strike. Like, you don't think Fusion or Brilliant or even Battle Stars, like, each one has a different, maybe, time frame, but they all share the same destiny. It's the same thing with humans. You want me to be all Debbie Downer with you? Eventually, we're all going to be dead. I mean, it sucks. But in the next 100 years, none of us watching this channel right now are going to be around. We are all meat popsicles with expiration dates. And that is the crappy thing about life. But we understand that. And we have to enjoy and do things that we enjoy the best we can. And news releases that, Rudy, a Pokemon set's going up. Oh my God. A Pokemon that's been around that almost as long as Magic, a few years less, and a box that's out of print is going up. And I don't know what everybody expected. It's just the ecosystem of the internet hive of, okay, Fusion Strike came out a couple years ago. Distributors and everyone's been out a long time. The Pokemon Company website's been dripping a few boxes here and there. And, well, enough time went by, they ran out of their last pallet, and it got pulled down off the website, and, well, the box prices now on TCG Player went from like 130s, 140s, 150s, and now Fusion Strike's like pushing 170s, 180s, and you add your shipping or taxes, you're already at $200 a box. And people, it's so bizarre how every era from every market cycle, like, it's like some DeLorean Groundhog Day deja vu where we all expect this is it, print into oblivion, going to zero, the same old worn out memes. But like, this, it just keeps happening over and over. And people are surprised because every single era, even when I was doing this crap in the Sun and Moon era, the XY, and then recently in the Sword and Shield, and it was the same thing. Oh, the print run's different this time, Rudy. 2 billion Pokemon cards. See, you know, when you were starting it with your bathroom and how dumb you were, it's called you just got lucky and you didn't flush your Evolving Skies and your evolutions and primals and ancients down the toilet. No, I just decided that if I just need to outweight everybody. That's the key to all this. And I've been saying the last 12 to 18 months, Sword and Shield, in my opinion, and I have no Pokemon knowledge, never played the game. I only dress up as Gyarados on Wednesdays when I go out to the nightclub and try to pick up the ladies of the night. They prefer Gyarados. I dressed up as like Clefairy, and I dressed up as Slowbro, but the chicks didn't like it. They prefer Gyarados. Maybe the big, long, wiggly tail is a metaphor? I don't fucking know. Boy, that took a weird turn. And I'm sitting here like, Sword and Shield's Amazing Era. I've talked about it for 1 to 2 years on this channel. And I've been telling you all the same thing. Everything from the beginning, even Battle Styles. When everyone says, don't buy Battle Styles, even at $80, Rudy. I know you're trying to dump to your patrons for $89, it's all trash. And I'm like, just the short-sightedness and the this time is different mentality is a very strange human characteristic, everybody. Now, when I look at the Sword and Shield list off camera here, I go all the way back to Sword and Shield base. Let me give you guys a little history lesson. Sword and Shield base, not a big print run. It was a base set. Remember, all the base sets of each new block are the worst. You know, then Rebel Clash, oh, trash. Darkness Ablaze, double trash. Champion's Path, well, they found the path out of trash. Oh, Vivid Voltage, Big Fat Pikachu to the moon. Oh, wait, they reprint it. It's back to trash. Like, it's so wild, man. And then, of course, we get to the battle styles. And here it comes. Are you ready? The world-famous Chilling Reign. The one that put Rudy on the map for the Sword and Shield era. Chilling Reign. And yes, folks, you all have emailed me saying, some of you, F you, Rudy, on your success. You're welcome. It's like Wall Street Best. When you tell someone to F off, you know, you say congrats, F you. That's I expect the comment section. Well, you can't put a curse word. Well, YouTube auto filters that. So say, congrats on Chilling Reign, Rudy, F you, hashtag. That's how I know you actually watched the video. And yes, well, folks, Chilling Reign we were probably within 60 days of Chilling Reign being over 200 a box. And then the death of the market for Chilling Reign is so bad. I don't know where it's going to settle, but it does look like in 2024. We're only in February. I now have, in my opinion, Chilling Reign's price target. I'd give it a low side 200, high side maybe 3, and then speculative to the moon maybe 400 within a year or two. I think it's probably going to settle in the mid 2s for a while because as it gets higher and higher, the Closet Evil Rudy investors are going to kind of unload their positions when they've kind of doubled in 2 or 3x their money. So we'll see some more supply come to market in Chilling Reign just as we jump up the scale of the staircase. Similar to Evolving Skies. When we pop to that 150, 200, a lot of people dump their Evolving Skies. A lot of my patrons that I sold Evolving Skies to at the beginning, when it hit 300, they sold all their stuff and made a 2-3x return. And then when it hit 400, they felt bad. And now Evolving Skies is like 500. And of course, between 500 and 1,000, there's no supply left anyways. I don't even know if you can buy 100 boxes on the open market. But this is normal. Okay? Getting stuck with battle styles that's barely doing anything, and then me bragging to you all about Evolving Skies and Chilling Reign is normal. This is a normal distribution spread of an outcome. Some of them do okay, flat, maybe down 10%, maybe up 10, 20%, but that's fine. Other ones do very well. Chilling Reigns, Evolving, and then you get, well, technically Evolving is like kind of that black swan, hitting it, 10xer kind of thing. And that brings me to one more thing before we go to Scarlet and Violet. Now, everyone's saying, because let me refresh you all. I have a lot of Astral Radiance in Fusion. Mostly because it didn't sell nearly as good as like the Evolving sales, or my Evolving Skies sales, my Brilliant Stars sales. When I sold it to you all and the patrons, everything, everybody wanted Brilliant Stars. Everybody wanted Chilling Reign when it came out. Everybody wanted Evolving Skies. There was no argument of whether or not those products were good. They were good from the day they released. Okay? But now Astral, in Fusion, those were shaky. I sold some, got a small restock. I was like, barely sold them all at the beginning. I'm just going to keep the rest. We're going to just let it snowball and, kind of build up our inventory long term. Those are the ones that I consider more unicorns. Nobody, 2 years ago, during the boom of 2021, oh my God, it's 2022 now. This is 24. Holy smoke, I'm old. Am I really on YouTube this is my 9th year on YouTube? Old man Rudy is here to tell you about cons of Tarkir, and Rudy's a con. And Eternal Masters. Jesus, I'm old. You don't realize how quick time goes by, everybody. Time is a wild thing. But, the Fusion Strike video is the point of today's video. Fusion Strike is the conversation that I really enjoy moments like this with Fusion Strike. People ask me all the time about Evolving Skies and Chilling Reign. The big boys, brilliant. Everybody knows. And yes, I do actually, I don't sell them like a big sale or eBay. I only sell them when I have patrons message me, which is probably maybe once a week kind of thing. And someone says, hey, Rudy, can I buy a case of Evolving Skies, $500 times 6 boxes. Will you double box it, signature, give me a nice pretty one? And sure, we'll do something like that. I don't really run big sales because I don't want to dump my positions. It was like the ETB I did with Silver Tempest. I did that to the patrons, the Silver Tempest ETBs. Like on that particular one, I had like 7,000 Silver Tempest ETBs. And we ended that sale and we cut it off when we hit the 6,000, so I could keep the last 1,000, 1,500 for myself. That is how you manage these things long term. I know our memes with heavy bags and jokes, but that's what makes things fun. We got to enjoy our hobby. But the navigation in managing this type of scale in business is all about kind of long term, moving some, giving good prices to your supporters, and then hoarding a bunch, and then selling some, and you kind of just move and play that chess game. In long term, it works out really well for people who can stay 5, 10 plus years in especially the Pokemon or the CCG world. If you don't really tilt into the game piece thing and you really kind of pay attention to some of these sealed products and some of these, even Chase single cards, you can do very well in this stuff. And a lot of people do, which is why this ecosystem is, it's $1 billion business. It's probably multiple billions if you actually combine all the CCGs together. It's insane. But Fusion Strikes is an interesting moment. These are the moments I'm excited. Like, I'm more excited about Fusion Strike than I am Evolving Skies. Because everybody expected Evolving Skies. But like the Chilling Reign, where it was ridiculed, that's what makes it a good story. Next up, with the Sword and Shield boom, is the Fusion Strike. To see a product that sat for between $100 and $120 a box forever, and nobody wanted it, it's not evolving, it's not brilliant, it's just, it's such an interesting thing to watch the ants and the humans around the internet and the markets, and to watch everybody online with their comments. It's fascinating to do that. And I encourage you all to just monitor, maybe not my comment section on my videos, mine are just a shit show. But like if you watch some Poketubers, in like the comments of, oh, don't buy this one, buy this one. Oh, bad Pokemon set, Rudy. Everybody avoid Scarlet and Violet. Watch, don't look at my comment section. It's dangerous down there. You got to put a spacesuit and a helmet and a hazmat suit to read Rudy's comment section. But it's, when you look at actual conversations on Pokemon YouTubers, it's fascinating how all the comments are people, I would say 80% of all comments on Pokemon YouTube channels are people talking about which ones are great products and which ones are terrible. Oh, this guy has no idea what he's doing. He's buying the worst set ever. That's what I find to be the most fascinating. And when we have the moments where the underdog, the Fusion Strike, the Astral, maybe Lost Origins, everybody, Silver Tempest, remember that's the one Rudy's dumping now. When we see the Silver Tempest, the Astrals, the Fusion, and even the Battle Styles one day, even Rebel Clash, even Vivid and Rebel, some of these early ones, or even Sword and Shield base, when you see the ones that people ridiculed rise from the dead with a giant, long, hard suction cup hot dog, it's just such a bittersweet moment to see. Suddenly everyone said, yeah, I knew this was coming. Rudy, I knew Fusion Strike was the next one. I definitely knew it. You didn't talk about it, but I knew it. I bought one box in the corner. And it's so wild now to see this sudden panic, to see Fusion Strike just start running out of nowhere in like 30 days. Or just go on TCG Player, hit a 1-year chart. Look at the chart of it. The graph may not be updated yet. Remember, folks, when you have a lot of quick price spikes, the cheapest TCG Player could be $175 a box or something. But the graph may still show like 140, 150 because there is a delay in based on how they calculate the sales and that sold and how many are there. It gets a little wonky when you have quick swings, just a heads up. But it's a really cool thing. And it's such a learning experience to go through this stuff and see the shifts and see suddenly, yeah, I knew Fusion Strike, Rudy. I knew that was a good set. And I definitely predicted that one was going to be big. And I'm like, I don't know a single person that said, Rudy, 6 months ago, there wasn't a single message or a single comment of anything of someone saying, Fusion Strike's going to boom 50%. It's coming in a few months, Rudy. I'm telling you. Like, nobody said that. And that is a beautiful moment to watch the underdog, to watch the goldfish with one fin who's never been able to swim but in a circle, and suddenly that fish goes straight to the moon. It's a fascinating thing. You know, even the fish will still die because there's no water there, but you get the analogy without the death thing. We already talked about the death thing. You know, we're all humans, meat popsicle, same expiration date, blah, blah, blah. That brings me to the end of the video. I want to save this part to the end of the video here. Everybody's negative, and, you know, Scarlet and Violet overprinted this and that, and they adjusted, they got their own printers, and they went from 2 billion cards a year to 69 billion cards a year. And I just started in the last probably 7 to 10 days getting some good conversations with some of you all through my patron messages saying that, Rudy, have you been following your Mr. P in Obsidian? I said, I have. Because remember how they all tanked and collapsed. 89 a box shipped, 92 a box shipped. Below wholesale distribution! Imagine having an LGS that you pay all your thousands a month in rent and overhead. So you got to make thousands in profit just to pay your landlord, utility, food, employees, payroll, utilities, the internet, whatever websites, monthly fees, you know, people who are going to try to steal, open disputes, fraud, all these things. So you got to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month just to even break even before you can pay yourself a penny. Congratulations for choosing an awful career for all you LGS owners out there, but I love you for your passion. I'd give you a hug with my arms. I'm not going to give you a mouth hug. I don't like you that much. And it's one of those things where all these morons, because they're undercapitalized, and they say, I love cards, Rudy. I'm going to open an LGS. And they don't properly enter it with a business perspective. They're for the community. Remember that. Make sure you do a lot of giveaways, because remember, that shows you're for the community. And it'll fluff up your numbers on YouTube, so everybody does things just to get free stuff, and they all bolt when they don't win. Make sure you do a lot of that. And you see these things, and then we fast forward after all the fight of all the stores dumping their product at losses. Rawr, rawr. And then suddenly, you fast forward 3, 6, 9 months, and you go, hey, go on TCG Player. Look at Mr. P booster boxes. What happened to the Char Lizard, Obsidian Flames booster boxes? I thought these were all crashing and burning. Rudy told me Scarlet Violet Base had a print run of 69 million boxes, and I was told by Scarlet and Violet Base you shouldn't buy it until it drops like 60 a box. Don't buy from Rudy. He'll charge you. He'll scam you. It'll be like $99. You know, and it's like, suddenly, look at today's prices. Not only that, look at the cheapest price in TCG Player. And then, look at how many sell per day, per week. Actually put some effort into this shit, folks. Go on TCG Player. Pick up your Char Lizard, Obsidian Flames booster boxes. Go ahead. Keep running this video. Open another tab. You can pause the adult videos, though. That's just creepy with my voice. Open another tab. Go on TCG Player. Hit Obsidian Flames booster boxes. Look at the cheapest price. What's it at? And then then say, okay, how many boxes are there till the price skyrockets? And then go to sold listings and say how many are selling on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So how long is the flush through rate? And then, of course, add in an extra 10% of supply coming to the market. Kind of calculate and forecast the numbers. And then suddenly you start looking, going, wait a minute. I was told Mr. P, Paradox Rift, Scarlet Violet Base, the Char Lizard, Rudy, I was told all these were crashing to like $70, $80 a box. And then I was told they were barely selling because there's nothing good in them. All the cards are terrible. You know, silver borders. Every box you open, you get 75 hits, and then you lose 69 of them to Rudy. And it's like, but wait a minute. All the boxes are pushing back to wait a minute. What's Obsidian? What's Mr. P? Wait a minute. Before tax, they're over 100? With tax, they're like 110 already? Hold up. And wait a minute. How many are selling per day? And then wait a minute. If a couple sell per day, that means the next 30 days, that's 100 boxes? Wait a minute. How deep is the market? If you take off the cheapest 100 boxes on TCG Player, and there's no more reprints, restocks coming, like, put some fucking effort into it. And then you can clearly see the data and what the market's telling you. Pokemon's not ruining the brand. This isn't Dr. Cox. This isn't Cynthia. By the way, I heard they're releasing a new cigarette that's supposed to like 20% more nicotine, and I think they're going to hide one inside each kid's Happy Meal. You know, something like that. Or maybe hide it in like a pack of cards. I think Philip Morris is working on something. And it's one of those things where I don't know. I guess there's times when it hurts my brain that so many people out there don't take the time to just put some effort into, instead of just saying, "Oh, look, Rudy, I thought I know Rudy's full of shit. I found one box for $79. Oh, that's great. Where's it shipped from? It ships from Antarctica. What? Are you sure that's a legitimate website? No, Rudy. I found Evolving Skies for $40 a box shipped. That may be a fraudulent website. Like, you get these morons on the internet that will handpick one box somewhere. And okay, you know what? I got to tell this story real quick. I haven't heard this before. I got to cut this. I fucking cut the video off. I got to tell a quick story. So, an old tactic that's used by a lot of big companies, the snowballs. I don't want to name the companies, but an old tactic that was used for many, many years. It still goes on today. All right, I'm going to tell it. I'm already committed. There's a tactic we would use in the industry if you need the price to look worse than what it is, or to scare other stores to unload their product, to kind of build a foundation. This was a big thing many, many years ago. This isn't really much of a... I think it still goes on, but again, I don't sell on eBay TCG Player really much anymore, besides my Rudy shirts. Which, by the way, this channel is sponsored by me. I think I've got 14 shirts. Only large left, I'm sorry. All the small shirts, all the bigger shirts, everything's gone. I've got 14 shirts left. And remember, the back of the shirt, this is my 2023 edition. This shirt is worth more than your game pieces. Be careful wearing that if you're going to an LGS or special event. Some of the uneducated people their heads may kind of implode, and then it turns into like circles and squares, and then they roll like a roly-poly. So be careful wearing the game piece shirt, because some people kind of like, they turn into some Power Ranger thing, and it's kind of weird. Also, I should still have some patron slots opening from all the purging, all the opening, and all the downfall of Alpha Investments. So we should still have between 5 and 20 patron slots opening, depending when you watch this. And remember, folks, between the 7th and like 10th of the month is when we do the purge for all the delinquent accounts. So there's always extra slots and things open from all the delinquent accounts that are purged off this time of month. Again, I don't take outside sponsors, even though I really should. Would you guys be mad at me if I did that? Because I get these emails offering me like $5,000 a video to mention something. It's like, that's a lot of money. Anyways, so I just want to share this one terrible story because it's late in the Pokemon video. Fucking no one's going to watch it, from the Magic World and everything like that. I remember these employees from this large snowy ball castle company. And many times, if they felt the product was really good, but there was too much of it in the short term, they wanted everybody else to just dump their shit at a loss. I remember there'd be these companies and these big websites where they would take like $150, or what's a good example? We'll use Pokemon. So a Pokemon box is $100 on TCG Player. They would take their Pokemon box and put it for $69 or $79 on their website, knowing that the dumbasses on Discords and Reddits and Facebooks and MySpace and Tinders and OnlyFans and Ashley Madison, on all these social media websites, knowing that the idiots will screenshot it and put it on social media. So what they would do is, and this was, I remember, because I used to talk to this guy all the time. I don't want to reveal what company he worked for, get him in trouble. They would launch a campaign on one of these big companies and put it kind of on their front page and say like, Pokemon clearance, overstocked or whatever, $70 a booster box. And everybody's panicking because they're already selling at a loss or break even on TCG Player for $100. And the way they would do that, they would put the quantity at like 1 or 2 boxes. Then once one person bought it, they leave it on the front page. But then anybody who tries to check out, it says sorry, sold out, or unavailable quantity, and they'd leave it there for the whole day. And then the next day, they'd restock it on the back end of the website, and they'd only put a quantity of 1 or 2 again. So what would happen is it would give the signal on social media, and the morons on the internet who like to get emotional would just say, "Oh my God, Rudy, did you see what a Snowball company is doing? Dude, they're dumping this Pokemon. It's so bad, man. We got to get out. I don't think I'm going to buy the next set from you, Rudy, but I'm still going to support you. But I just can't. I can't be scammed by you this month." I said, "Hey, no worries, man. I'll still give you a hug, man." And I just said, just be aware. Things are not always what they seem. And it was fascinating because they would do this for like sometimes like 3 to 5 days, or let's just call it a week, 5 business days. And every day it would be on the front page of like clearance. It'd be like a new Pokemon set. By the way, I just want to share. I'm getting too deep, and I don't like this. Because this isn't. This happened with a Pokemon set a long time ago called, I'll give you a hint. It started with Crimson, not Crimson Down Magic. There was a Pokemon set with the word Crimson in it. And it was one of the worst released Pokemon sets. Okay? And the market rejected it, and it collapsed, and everybody panicked. And this Pokemon Crimson set tanked down to a low of like $59 to $65 a box. And the problem was, these stores that were clearancing them for the $50, $60, $65 a box, you couldn't really buy them. And I remember I tried to place some orders, and I got one box. I placed an order for like 6, and then I remember some other friends of mine, and actually some other patrons who sent me the link for it, they placed orders for 6. All of them had the order canceled. One of them got 1 box shipped, and I got 1 box shipped. And I think the only reason they shipped me the 1 box is because they saw the name Rudy and they saw Florida. That's what I think. So what's interesting about it is, again, there are tactics deployed by some of the larger companies that do the websites and TCG, because they know we all follow TCG Player, and they know some people are just fucking stupid, and they fall for things and they get tilted. And that was a big thing. I haven't seen that in a while in Pokemon, but I remember that was a thing with some of the big Pokemon companies who would hold. Fairy and Frog was another one, if you know what company I'm talking about. Hint, hint. I used to call them Fairy and Frog, but they were 2 different animal names. They were involved with a lot of Pokemon in different things. Not so much anymore because they're just ran like shit. But back in the day, they were involved in some interesting things too. I won't go much further than that. I don't really like these topics too much because, again, half of you all are going to watch this and you're going to think I'm full of shit. And the other half of you all are going to think I'm making it up. And then the other half, that's 3 halves? It's like a pizza, right? The third half on there is just going to make fun of me anyways and say, oh, well, this is just Rudy, right? So there's no benefit to me talking about this kind of stuff anymore. I just trying to explain to you all that please be careful, because a lot of the data and a lot of you think something's falling apart. We're going to talk about Karlov Manor pretty soon with the collectors. We're seeing there is something similar happening to that, and it happened with Ravnica also. Like if you look on TCG Player, there's like 5 stores panicking, unloading all their Karlov Manor collectors at like the 180s to 190 before tax. And then after that, the price skyrockets back to 200 plus because nobody else is willing to dump them at losses like that. We see sometimes these weird pushes like that. And of course, it makes the amateur kind of not as experienced individuals in this industry, kind of gets them very, oh my God, but just, we're seeing some similar things with some other categories. And I hope that makes sense. I'm going to cut the video off. Point was of this video was I want to talk about Fusion Strike in the Pokemon market. And of course, the strength I'm starting to see in Scarlet Violet. Scarlet Violet's already bottomed. And Scarlet Violet Base, Mr. P, and Charizard, the first 3 sets are all looking like pure gold to me. No, if you want to send me any messages, no, I'm not buying any of them because I already hold multiple 1,000 to 2,000 boxes of each set. But it's looking really good. And once again, the overall market saying I'm not going to buy until it goes to 60, 70 a box is a bunch of dumbasses. And as with everything in life, they will miss out. And it's looking really solid. We got a good foundation moving forward for Scarlet Violet. And now with the corporate changes, starting with the next Pokemon set, once the market realizes the new changes with the print run and the tightening on there, it's going to be a nice, smooth transition for an uptick on the block. And things look really good in 2024. Once again, thanks for joining me. As always, you all have a beautiful day out there.